It's the Black Aaron broadcast. It's the Black Aaron podcast. It's the Black Aaron broadcast.
I'm proud of you, man. I'm just glad stuff is working out and God is blessing.
Are you the busiest man in Los Angeles? In Compton?
Not quite.
Getting there.
Getting there. I'm working on it.
Maybe I'll just end up documenting your come up. So.
So you just have to basically present to them a clear plan or a clear agenda that works along with brand exposure and brand activation for them. So, they want to see numbers. They want to see how they can activate a certain type of brand they have. For example, like we was working with Jack Daniels for one, and they've really been trying to push the Tennessee Honey line. So we focused on the Tennessee Honey line to activate that brand for them amongst an age group that fit their demographic, or that a demographic that they wanted, I should say. So
their audience segmentation.
Yep, audience segmentation. So we had the right age group, the right type of mindset, young people who are innovators and entrepreneurs who are all about making money, creating opportunities for themselves. They all were there, and so it's a great opportunity for Jack Daniels Honey, and they wanted to be a part of it, and we wanted them to be a part of it. So we worked it out with them, and then with Gibson, anything with music, they're pretty much excited about. For them, it's an opportunity to get some free marketing and things like that. They don't have a marketing team or a marketing budget. They don't pay for marketing and all that other stuff.
Okay.
Which is a lot of reason why they went bankrupt. But that's another story.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of them things where you build those relationships, which I have a great relationship with Gibson, and was able to activate a brand for them, opportunity for them, eyeballs, viewership. They get the chance to see that Gibson is doing some cool upcoming things, and that they're trying to build their network and stuff like that, and I'm just a tool for them to use.
So what's the you're working on trying to get like a film thing done or something? And
the partnership that I'm working on for the Love Sessions is with LA Film School, is where I work at the moment, another place I work at the moment, and then also with ArcLight Theaters, which owns the Cineplex or Cinedome, whatever it's called, that's across the street from LA Film on Sunset.
Oh wow!
So I work with another company that's called Hypnotica.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentioned.
Yeah. So Hypnotica, we're planning on doing a whole presentation on the side of the, basically on the front of the LA Film building, the main building. So we wanted to use the ArcLight Cinedome as a place to project across to the LA Film main building. But it turns out that ArcLight has a big need of looking to get more exposure. They do a whole lot of events for movies, premieres and stuff like that over there. So what we're going to do is partner up with them and try to do an event for them showcasing Hypnotica's skills.
Okay.
And then from there parlay that into the LA Film event.
Ooh. So like do that right across from the LA Film place, so show them what we can do.
Yeah.
And then, hey, look, so we could do something for you. Let's work. Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Because it's so local. Like,
it's local.
They don't even have to go. Like, it's happening regardless.
Exactly. So the thing is for them is, you know how it is, man. people want to be the first, but then they also want to see it done.
Done. Yeah.
So
Before they fully invest.
Yeah. So like what I'm putting together for Hypnotica is these relationships. We've done a whole lot of stuff in Europe and a whole lot of stuff in Eastern Europe, but nothing in the States yet.
Because they're trying to break through to the U.S.
So we're trying to break in the U.S. So in order to do that, you got to put on events. And for the type of staging and the type of shows that they put on, it's not free.
No.
It costs money. So
Obviously.
you got to have companies that are willing to put that budget down, and want that experience, that immersive experience. And you can't get that just, let me just give you $5 and that's not the way it works.
So you got to find sponsors for that.
Exactly.
For that collaboration of Hypnotica and Arc Light event thing
ArcLight
at
theaters.
their building.
Right.
You have to find sponsors so that so Hypnotic can obviously get paid.
But the thing is,
it can bring attention to ArcLight.
So the key thing is, I don't have to find sponsors. I just basically have to put the announcement out so that the sponsors can find me.
Okay.
Because it's an opportunity for them to be able to showcase on Sunset, which is a primetime location.
Oh, it's prime time. So I mean, they're sponsors. They're going to want to be where the people are.
Exactly.
So why wouldn't they want to?
Exactly. So it's one of those things. Hey, Jack Daniels, I have this situation going on. We can showcase your logo, your brand, and have some. You can have a night, and then on top of that, we can have a movie that may be coming out during that time. So around August or July when we do the event, we can have them. Cover the cost for we're showcasing Marvel movie, For the Love Sessions, LA Film.
Oh wow! So how do you? There's obviously licensing or who the Marvel thing.
Yeah.
So who's involved? You got ArcLight, you got Hypnotic, you got maybe a brand like some sponsor like Jack Daniels or Gibson. But how do you get the movie element if that's what you're doing?
Well, here's the thing. I just said Marvel, but
okay.
I'm just
it could
saying
be.
it could
you
be,
want to get like a film entity in there, probably
any type of premiere that's coming up around that time. Mm-hmm. We would love to advertise that.
Oh, so you probably look at movies that are premiering before you're doing that or after you're doing that or something around that time.
The thing is, I don't necessarily have to look. I just got to ask questions. I just need to qualify them as a recipient or as a potential client, being that they have needs that they have to meet. So they already kind of have a schedule of, we're going to come out with this movie around this time. How can we make this a never seen before experience? And it's like, oh yeah, I got the perfect thing. Have you seen this? Hypnotica. Bam. And they're like, oh no, can we get involved with that? Well, it only costs you this amount. And if you take care of all of the permits and all the other stuff, we'd be happy to do it.
So ArcLight would take care of the permits, or because it's their building?
Hypothetically, we would like for them to do that because, it's a premiere. But it's not ArcLight that would take care of that. It would be some type of, it would be an agency that is being paid. It would be an agency that's being paid by a movie distributor. A movie distributor.
Oh, okay.
Right. So you have these marketing, Warner Brother Pictures and Sony Pictures and all of these different companies who put on these, Lionsgates and all the other stuff, Netflix.
Yeah.
So you have all of these platforms that distribute, not Netflix, but all these major distributors that put out these movies.
Yeah.
And these movies that they put out, they hire ad agencies to advertise and make this event, to put together this event for this release.
So you need to get in there as an ad.
So all I need to do is find out what movies are coming out, and then find out what agencies has the contracts for the releasing of those movies.
Yes.
So if we have a movie premiere coming up and they want to do something huge, obviously let's just say Black Panther's coming out.
Yeah.
So Black Panther's coming out. Now I have an opportunity to connect with whoever it is that they want, whoever their agency is.
Mm-hmm.
And then the agency is the one that's like, yo, we have this amount of budget to put together. Here is... give us a show that we've never seen before or something like that.
Oh, so you find out who has the contracts and then kind of pitch them on the service you can offer to do what they're getting paid to do.
Yeah.
And you work as a subcontractor almost to the original.
Yeah.
Okay. How do you find out? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, and the thing is, I don't even have to. So I don't even have to wait to find out what movies are coming out. What I need to do is just do a pitch deck and also a presentation for these ad agencies or really any.
Oh, because they'll tell you because they already know.
Like, yo, that's gonna work perfect because.
So ad agencies, I mean, you could potentially making their job easier, and they just give you a portion.
And I'm providing them a service, and I'll say something like, look, if you retain my services for the whole year at X amount of dollars, we'll guarantee you 3 events out of that X amount of dollars and a discount on all events prior. All other events.
All future
events, yeah.
Wow. So that's cool.
Yeah.
Wow. So you go to whoever already has the contracts, you pitch them on a service that, they can utilize, to provide, service to the contracts they already have at a discounted price, and then sell them on doing an extended contract with discount. And do you have to, is that something wow, I didn't think about that. And I got 2 questions. So what would you would you do would you need to ask for a deposit before and after the thing, or
so for the example, so if it's a one-off,
are you like a vendor to
we
them?
get a deposit. If it's a one-off, we invoice them. Once they say they're involved and they wanted to do this event, whatever event it is, then we'll get a deposit. We'll get the money, that we need to, we'll negotiate the amount that we need up front, and then we'll collect the rest on the back end.
Okay.
What is beneficial for them, and one of the things that we bring to their attention is, hey, instead of you trying to cover this whole bill yourself, there are other companies that would like to capitalize on this opportunity, being that it is, a worldwide premiere, and the fact that it's on a high traffic area. So Sunset is a high traffic area. If you have this thing going for a couple of hours, that's prime time.
Wow.
People want prime. Think about it. If I can give you, if I told you, hey, I can make your social media popping between the hours of 12 a.m. and 4 a.m., you'd be like, okay, but that's not really your prime time hours. But now to tell you, and I only charge you, $100, you'd be like, oh, okay, well, that's not bad. But if I told you I can provide you with prime time, social media hours and make your numbers pop, with content and all that other stuff, for $100, you like, yo, where do I sign up at? Give it to me now.
Wow.
We're talking about prime time real estate.
Huh. So you gotta be the connector. You gotta know
that's it,
and just maximize, the relationships.
Exactly.
So it all makes sense monetarily, and also benefits all parties involved.
Absolutely.
And you also have to find a balance between, I guess, how you're integrating those brands into the kind of art or creativity that Hypnotica is doing, I guess.
Well,
because,
no, here's the thing. The Hypnotica is fully customized.
How so?
Because the software in which they utilize, they built it. They own the patents. They own everything for it. So you're talking about being able to customize your whole experience. Wow. All I need for you to do is tell me what your idea is, and then we run through a series of potential ideas. You check it out. You like, I love it. I want, I love this color. I love this style. I love this picture. And that's it.
So, how did you initially start up your relationship with Hypnotica? Because their stuff's cool.
Well, the funny thing is, for Hypnotica, they came to me through one of my producers that I manage. He is really good friends with one of the owners, and so they're looking to break into the artist area and then really break into LA. So I have connections and relationships, a couple of degrees, 1 or 2 degrees of separation from a few people, so I'm able to connect them to different situations and opportunities, and through providing that for them, it's one of those things they need. So that's how I came in.
You got what they need. And they're from like Uzbekistan or something, was it?
Nah, they're from Azerbaijan.
Azerbaijan. I knew it was something AZ kind of. Okay, Azerbaijan.
Yeah, they're in Eastern Europe. But they do currently now have a station in New York.
Yeah, office, right?
Yeah, an office in New York.
I saw that.
One of the awesome things is that we're mobile anywhere in the world. Like, all of our abilities that we bring to the table are available worldwide. So it's not like we have to be in LA or we have to be in New York. We can bring it to you.
Do you plan months out, year, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Like, how do you try to plan to meet your goals? Because I know you have a goal book and stuff.
Yeah. So for me, I plan my goals every year. Every single year. Like, I have, a goal book with the massive goals in there, 5-10 years down the line type goals. But then I also have like short-term goals and then like immediate goals. Like, the immediate goals change every year. Short-term goals, those change every year, every 2 years, depending on what it is. So, it's one of those things where I try to get all of that ironed out at the beginning of the year so that, my direction is clear, and that I could be the most efficient possible, instead of, wasting time and spinning wheels and then doing stuff for too long, or, getting involved in other things that I don't need to be involved in. And stuff like that.
What are you projecting in the future, like where you see yourself or where you want to be professionally, I suppose?
Well, the thing is, for me, is what I'm working on now, is changing the music industry. Like, I'm really working hard on changing the music industry, just in how it has been used on both sides, as far as a business side, and how it's been used, as an artist. Really looking at the independence of an artist, and maybe focusing more on the massive amounts of artists that will help contribute to the value of the company, as opposed to trying to get one artist and lock them in a contract that doesn't benefit them at all.
Yeah.
It's really more for me about leveling the playing field, like creating opportunities that are lucrative for everybody, not just lucrative for the companies and not just lucrative for the artists. It's a balance,
Yeah.
You can't get nothing for free, so I'm not on that whole, like, the artist has to make all the money and has to do all this and all that. No, I'm not, like, thinking about that at all. At the same time, the artist who creates these products and have these opportunities, who need these opportunities that we can provide, of course, those come at a cost. They just do. They come at a cost. And that cost should be justified. The cost should be transparent. The cost definitely shouldn't be, made up or, or just held over their head. It's something that you work with the artist on. Like, one of the things about Nipsey Hussle is he worked really hard to build up his platform, much like other artists, but he also held out to own his own, which I think is extremely important, because as a business, owning your own rights, owning your own, master recordings, and owning your copyrights, and owning your publishing, and being able to dictate where, when, how, and how much yourself, that's a game changer. That's a game changer. And, the good old days and the good old boys, all of them, they need to go. Like, they gone. There's no $1 million budgets, and there's no need for these, janky contracts and negotiations that are taking place and taking full advantage of artists. But the other part of it too is artists is dumb. They don't read their contracts. They don't understand the contracts. They hire lawyers that are in bed with these major labels. And what do you expect to happen?
Get taken advantage
of. So, it's one thing for us. We have so much creativity. We have so much skill set. And yet we lack in the business area, both in sports, music, all of that. So you got pioneers like, like Shaq and like LeBron and many others, Kobe, and I know those are all basketball, but plenty others that.
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch is huge. Like that dude is actually doing some amazing things, and he understands investment, he understands saving, he understands investing back into himself and back into his community. Same thing with Nipsey Hussle. He invested back into himself, he invested back into his community, and that's why he was able to, remain amongst his people, because he took care of his people, and stuff like that. So, it's something to be said in handling business the right way. There can be a good balance of business on both ends, for the corporate world as well as for, the entrepreneur. And for me, I'm an entrepreneur. So I'm looking to try to figure out how to change the music industry in that area as an entrepreneur.
When did you, how long would you say you think you've been like entrepreneurial?
Man, I came out like this. I've been hustling since I was a kid, man. It's one of those things where you just like, you get it, you have it, or it's what makes you. You get it, you have it, or it's what makes you. Or it's what breaks you,
Mm-hmm.
I came out like selling candy bars,
Little
candy
boxes.
Man. Yeah, man. I was always hustling, man. Always had a piece of change in my pocket.
So just a bigger hustle now.
It's just a bigger hustle, man. It's trying to figure out, the whole time I was playing checkers, and the game is about chess, and then, it's not even about chess anymore. It's Monopoly. It's straight Monopoly now. So, you take what you learn from checkers, you take what you learn from chess, and now you're applying it, all of that, the rules and the understandings of how to navigate, and you apply that to Monopoly. And that's how you live. Yeah.
Interesting. Jeez. Yeah. I didn't even know we were really gonna. I was just like had the idea of maybe talking in the car, but once I got this working, it like made it a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. What else?
But my ultimate goal, obviously, the main thing.
I guess you still didn't answer the question.
Yeah. So my ultimate goal, honestly, is a venture capitalist.
Yeah.
So like I set up businesses, even like the studio, like I set that stuff up. I don't set it up with the intentions of me holding on to it. I set it with the intentions of passing it on and selling it to somebody else.
Oh, building up a business and then selling it.
Yeah, building up businesses and selling them. Also, fixing businesses that need repair. Investing in businesses that need a little, kickstart. Stuff like that. Because, you don't get rich off of one thing. That's the reason why I handle business, in all of my business, that's the reason why I handle business fairly. Because I'm not looking to get rich off of one thing. Like, it makes no sense. When that one thing dies, guess what? You die. Because you no longer are being fed by the one thing that got you rich. So...
have you heard of John, this guy John Henry? This guy, he's like a immigrant, came to like Harlem, and then I guess he started a dry cleaning business, and he was like a doorman or something, and then like one of the people at the place, like I guess they mentioned they work at like the studios, the movie studios, and they haven't been able to find a dry cleaner to kind of be able to do the level of dry cleaning they need for the amount of stuff. Right. And he took it on, and he ended up working his way up where he was just dry cleaning like 90% of the stuff at New York movie studios. And then he ended up selling the business, and it was with his parents, and then just wrote them a check, and just that was it. And then he moved into venture capitalism, this thing called Harlem Capital. It's him and three other brothers, all from and he's the only one I don't think went to college. The other ones went to like Harvard Business and all that stuff. And so now I watch a lot of his videos about kind of entrepreneurial type stuff and venture capitalism, and he specifically invests in black owned or minority or like women too, because he's like 90% of venture capitalists are run by men, and 90% of the money they give out goes to men. So he thinks if there's any time he wants to obviously change that, but also he says it's a good time to be a minority or black or or like a woman or whatever now, because it's like all this inclusive stuff and diversity. So it's kind of, corporations are realizing, we need to include, so this is a good time to jump on that wave and get out there. So he does a whole series, I think it's called Hustle Up or something, where he is potentially investing in different like black or female owned minority businesses. And
that's dope.
And so him and these four brothers, that's what they do. That's so dope. He spearheads a lot of it, and he does like real estate too. Like he just bought a few properties, and just but he came from like dry cleaning to venture capitalism to the real estate, and he's just now he's documenting a lot of that stuff.
But so it goes back to, again, what I was telling you guys in the class is, it goes back to, he started with one thing. He figured out how to be great at that one thing. Once he got rid of that, and once he achieved the highest goal he can get to at that point, he knew it was time to move, and he made that move.
He sure did.
And a lot of times we hold on to stuff for too long.
And they look at the numbers, and black wealth is this or whatever, and it's really low, and not that many, stuff isn't as inclusive or whatever. Like, you want to change disparity, that would be like, venture, if more venture capitalist firms were maybe minority or black or women and stuff, or investing in that stuff, that could potentially change a lot of that stuff. Because he was mentioning like some of the stats, because they do their own internal surveys, and like a lot of like people, they don't, like people of color or women, they don't value the companies they already have, and they'll do like a legitimate valuation and find that it is just as good or not better than this other company or whatever. And they if you don't have that mind state, then you're bound to not do
the other part of it too is, again, when you recognize the value, a lot of it is then how do you invest, or how do you sell off at the right time? And that's one thing with us that's always hard, because we work so hard to get a house. Get a house, go to school, get a good job, get a house, get married, and then live your life. It's like, nah, you don't get to live life. Now you working too hard to keep that house. Now you working too hard to keep those kids, in the proper schools and the proper sports and all these other things, because you've created this, this expectation. and you've lived trying to live to this expectation of having to, you know, own a house and all this other stuff. And the truth is, it's like, yeah, should you own property? Absolutely. But owning property doesn't mean it has to be for you. Owning property and making investments don't mean they have to be for you. So a lot of times we're looking at investments the wrong way. Like, I have to invest in a studio because I'm an engineer. It's like, why not invest in, you know, a barbershop because you got 4 of the top barbers in LA all looking for a location to cut hair? It's like, nah, I'm not a barber. No, you don't need to be a barber. You need to be a business owner. You need to invest. You need to create an opportunity for someone else. So that's where investment in venture capitalism or venture capitalists are different from just, you know, investing in yourself. I mean, obviously you know how to invest in yourself, and that's all you know how to do, and you should always invest in yourself, but you gotta look at the big picture. A lot of times these situations aren't necessarily set up for you to be successful. Matter of fact, all the time for us is never really to be successful. So how do you create your own lane? Just like Lil Nas X, he created his own lane through a joke, by creating a song that they wind up doing, a country song that they wind up doing, and it was out of a joke. Like, same thing with President Trump. Like, he became president because of a joke. Like, I'm gonna be a president. It was a joke. And it should show you guys, and it shows me daily, how important your words are. Like, when you speak things when you speak things out, you speak into life or you kill them off. So, you know, definitely got to be careful how you speak to things, because you want them to be successful. You want them to be, you know, everything they should be. Then you have to make sure you talk to it that way so that it grows.
Yeah, talk to the plant.
Gotta talk to the plant so it grows, man.
So you grow. Talk to my child so he'll grow.
Talk to your child so he'll grow. That's absolutely true.
Interesting.
Yep.
What geez, because we're on such a different area that I didn't even know we were gonna be on. And I wanna, like, since we're in this zone, I kinda wanna ask you more stuff about, I don't know, I guess the future and business. You did mention about not now but previously, you're trying to you want to do like the post-production.
Yes, so for the studio, for Little White Lotus Studios, I'm looking at more of a post-production aspect, because, you know, I'm dealing with rappers. You don't get me wrong, like, you know, I love rap and I love rappers. The problem is with broke ass rappers that don't want to pay for what they need, and what they need is good tracks. Like, you know, these rappers keep, you know, getting these whack tracks, and then we keep devaluing the importance of good music. And don't get me wrong, I know the difference between style and trends. You know, style has something that continues, you know, to rear up and show up, you know, and of course trends are something that are trendy. They show up here and then they go on just as quick as they showed up. And that's a lot of what our music is. It shows up and it's gone just as quick as it showed up. So do all this mumble rap, and it's cool. It's cool. That's what you want to do, but then you don't want to pay for your tracks, and you don't want to pay for your stuff to sound mixed and mastered properly with quality. You know, it's like you want it mixed by Ali, but then don't want to pay the Ali price.
Perfect. Now I got 8 hours of fucking time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just in time, brother. So what's the...
I don't think you want to talk about that.
Oh, okay. Here, let me turn this off.
I don't think you want to talk about this. Okay.
Okay.
You like said, what?
Oh, I already know.
It's the Black Aaron broadcast.